Have a costume made with stripes like a barber pole and dance around and around.
Do you mind if I use it?
She says that was a great idea. Anyway, gang, welcome to Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium's live stream. Yeah, gang, that's right, live. We are live. That's right. We are not dead yet. Oh my God. Ooh, wow. I tell you what, the whole Reiser tribe were out with some sort of weird intergalactic flu type thing, but we are back. Oh my goodness, I tell you. And it seems to be going around. I was watching Lou. I don't know. It was over the weekend, or maybe it was Friday. Lou sounded like he was just getting over some weird stuff too. So anyway, hope everyone is doing well. And boy, I scared myself Friday. Friday, we were supposed to go to an auction, and I thought I was relapsing. Oh, I was feeling horrible again, body aches, fever, and I thought, oh my God, not again. But what's weird, whatever this thing is that's going around, it lasts a while because what was weird is I kept putting off going to the doctor and still am. But I first was getting sick on October the 15th. I know because I it's not that I keep that good a record, but I was texting somebody. They said that, we wanted to get together and whatever. I was like, I don't think it's a good idea because I was feeling rather blip. But anyway, back in the saddle again. Here we go. But anyway, I tell you what, gang. Anyway, welcome to the live stream. And the only live stream you'll see tonight that I will leave you for a hankering of Tang. That's right, Tang. And boy, I hope you guys remember Tang. But and you probably won't understand why you'll have a hankering for it. But yeah, you'll just stick around. You'll see. But anyway, gang, welcome to the live stream. Tonight, we've got the schedule that's going to change anyway. So, I still like to do the schedule, even though we don't stick to it. No, that's right. In fact, I think tonight, well, actually, no, I think the last actual live stream we were supposed to have a special guest. Of course, being under the weather and stuff, didn't want to transmit anything over the internet. I don't know. But anyway, that's been pushed back. That's been rescheduled. And holy cow, there's even going to be more changes going on. But anyway, we'll take a look at the schedule. Some things I'll let you know ahead of time, which won't change and will still be around. And some other things, they're going to be flip-flopped around, but we'll look at that in a bit. And then, gang, we got a vintage commercial tonight. That's right. What would a Sunday evening be without a vintage commercial? That's right. Let's show some extremely dated stuff. And isn't it wonderful to see how easily swayed we were back in the 1960s just by good old advertising? I don't know. Of course, now you want to see a football game, we'll just give you Taylor Swift. Anyway, got that coming up. And tonight's article is the Big Apple treasures. That's right. And we got a lot of talk about that. And those in chat who may stick around, don't let me forget, we have a map to look at and also in a website. So don't let me forget. Oh my goodness, I forgot all about Clanky. We also need to talk about Clanky. And for those who may be familiar with Clanky, I tell you what, some of us, me, for example, never really had true exposure to Clanky. And that sounds weird. That almost sounds like an STD. But no, Clanky chocolate syrup. That's right. He came in like a little Clanky robot bottle like thing. You'll see more in a bit. But so don't let me forget about that either. Anyway, so let's get on with it. Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at the schedule. And here it is. Boom! That's right. Tonight is the desk show. And I tell you what, as I said, we got changes going on here. We actually bought a real live desk. No more. And for some of you folks who haven't been with me that long, I've always operated off of, because I'm a minimalist. I don't know. Started stuttering all of a sudden. But anyway, I'm actually operating off of this rollaway desk, which I had at the other house. And it's just not big enough for what we want to do. I mean, if we were to take a pan around what we got going on here, I should have actually set up my phone. I could actually have shown you. I have desks, and then I have improvised desks. I have a pedestal here with some books for the Emporium. I have coins on top of that. Of course, on top of this desk, my little roll around whatever desk, I've also got my coin cam. I've got some camera holders. I've got pens, paper pencils, and just a plethora of other and weird stuff. And then next to it, I have a small little, I don't really want to call it, a nightstand looking thing that's very small, which holds my alternative computer, which allows me to watch what's going on if I got my screen obscured if I'm not in StreamYards, meaning if I'm sharing a screen, I can look down there and see what's actually going on and what you're saying. And then, gang, over here we have another table. And this table actually is where the giveaway gets kind of set up and shown. And so there's just, why on earth is there 3 tables? How come there's just not one desk? And, gang, that's right. Through the powers that be, there has been a new desk ordered. And strangely enough, they say it's going to be here between the 27th and the 30th. Nothing like narrowing it down. And it's kind of like the weather forecast out of Buffalo. You know, it's from 3 to 36 inches. But anyway, new desk is on its way. And hopefully we can actually do a little bit of a better show with more room. Anyway, it took over all my space up there. Yes. But anyway, I tell you what, gang. So good stuff. Let's get back to the schedule. So anyway, 12/3, there will be another desk show. 12/10, game night, a.k.a. the quiz. And I think that's going to evolve more into an actual game night. So I tell you what, do check out that. That's going to be quite a special evening. And then, gang, on 12/17, we have another desk show. And then 12/24, weird movie night. That's right, Christmas Eve. And I know a lot of people are going to want to spend time with their families and etc. So pop in, pop out, and it's all good. So, you know what? We show a lot of stuff that's for public domain. And we thought, Scrooge, the original Scrooge with Alistair Sims, it's actually public domain. We could do that. But I don't know. That's just not in keeping with the flavor of the channel, we'll say. So instead, that's right. We're probably going to do Santa Claus versus the Martians. And yeah, gang, don't miss it because, yes, that's another horrible movie. But anyway, gang, 12/24, weird movie night. And one of the things that will never change with the channel, that's right, we have on 12/31, New Year's Eve, the Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium's community-sponsored giveaway. That's right, the giveaway that is sponsored by you fine folks. Don't miss out on that. Great stuff to look forward to. And I tell you what, I just orchestrate this thing, but I get excited about it, and which is good. It keeps me going. But yeah, when we talk about some of the things that are changing, I I had a couple of conversations. Actually, one is actually inspired the article for tonight about New York, and the other, somebody kind of got into my ear a little bit, and they were saying, you know what? I don't know how to phrase this. I don't care about being monetized. You know, we also do our stuff for the charities and etc. And like, if you monetize, why don't you just give that to the charities? So I don't know. I it's kind of working in the back of my mind, but I haven't quite fully committed to it yet. But they're right. If I'm going to do this anyway, why not? That way we could just, and we'll keep track of it on the ticker, just as what we do here now. So who knows? I mean, for the pennies that you get, might as well put it to some good. But anyway, gang, that there is what's coming up, and what's also changing, and who knows? We may morph into something else again. And anyway, gang, for tonight, that's right, it is time for tonight's vintage commercial. Ready or not? You didn't ask for it, but anyway, you should have come and expect to it since you're here. But anyway, have a look.
The Gemini space flights. The trips are long. The training is hard, like this spacewalk practice. But the astronauts do some things you do. In space, they drank Tang. They mixed it like this in a zero-G pouch, because with no gravity, it would fly all over. You don't have that problem. You can mix it in a glass. Up there, they have to drink it carefully, this way. You can drink it any way you like. Tang tastes orangey. Tastes great. Has lots of vitamins C and A. Tang, chosen for the Gemini astronauts. Have a blast. Have some Tang.
There you have it, Tang. Oh, I tell you what, was that real footage of the astronauts on them? I don't know. I tell you. Anyway, gang, I tell you what. Let's see who and all is here. American Whittling Relics. Hi. I saw Santa Claus today, and he said a lot of people were on the nice list this year. Well, all right. Anyway, hi, AWR. I tell you what, gang. AWR's got his little video of his Christmas village. Be sure and check it out. Mrs. Bortner, hi. Going to have to go buy some Tang. You know what? The funny part of that is, talking about, don't ask me why. I was sick. But anyway, while I was sick, I had this weird craving for Spam. This is no, as much as I joke and really honestly think Spam is horrible. Sandy says, is there anything you want while I'm out? And instead of saying orange juice, medicine, what is Spam? Yeah, that's right. That'll cure what ails you. That's right. That would put you in the coffin faster. But anyway, I had Spam 2 days in a row, same can. I couldn't do it all in one sitting. But so yeah, one night I had eggs with Spam, and then I made a Spam sandwich, and I don't know, I maybe I was delirious. Well, anyway, Spam. But I just don't know. Anyway, welcome to the live stream, and see who else is here. Oh, Sandy Reiser, that gal, follows me everywhere. Deej, hi. I tell you what, gang, I think you're all subscribed to Deej. But if you're not, do subscribe to Deej. I tell you what, very entertaining channel, a real channel, not full of a lot of AI stuff or overly dramatized stuff. Nope, I tell you what, a channel that cares. I tell you, digging with Deej. Be sure you check her out. And who else is here? There's Mr. B. Hi, Mr. Bortner. How are you? And Willie. Hi. And welcome. David Carl. David's not here, man. And welcome to the live stream. And Okay, that was spooky. Dolls, stop moving, rearranging furniture. But anyway, welcome to the live stream. And anyway, gang, that there is what is going on in 50 different flavors of spam. And I love spam. Love spam. Bacon jalapeno. We had some with eggs a couple of weeks ago with us. Breakfast for dinner. I love it. But anyway, Sandy does not enjoy spam. And well, I don't know. Yes, I don't know what that was. That was, yeah, they decided to throw a couple of books at me. But anyhow, welcome to the live stream. And for tonight, yes, we have, don't let me forget again, we got a map and a a map and a website we got to check out in relation to I spam the chat. And in relation to tonight's article. This article comes to you from, that's right, gang, Lost Treasure Magazine, which I do not believe is around anymore. This is the March 2017 edition. Speaking of which, Western Eastern Treasure Magazine. I've written an article which I was kind of interested in submitting to them, only to find out they are no longer in existence. So, yeah, needless to say, I saved my postage. But I know they were online for a while, and then no longer. So, I don't know, which kind of really makes me wonder. I mean, I'm a print guy. Even switching over to digital copies and that sort of thing, I don't know. I think they could actually minimalize the printing and still carry on their digital thing. But right now, American Digger Magazine, who I will be subscribed to after this beginning of the year, is what your only printed metal detecting journal that is still extant. But so keep that in mind. But anyway, gang, yeah, Western Eastern Treasure Magazine, no longer there. Anyway, tonight's article, Big Apple Treasures, and it's written by Pat Hughes. Now, I've actually, I don't know Pat Hughes, but I've actually read several of Pat Hughes' articles. This is his only one, or she. But we'll be showing some stuff, and you know what? Before we do, we are going to go ahead and have a look at Clanky, and then we'll delve into the article. We're going to try and do this, and see if we can. All right, maybe share screen.
Clanky, Clanky! Here comes Clanky, the chocolate spaceman toy. Chocolate spaceman toy. We love Clanky, Clanky the spaceman. He can do a lot of things nobody else can. We just squeeze him, and he makes our milk all chocolatey, chocolatey. We love Clanky, Clanky the spaceman. He can make a sundae like nobody else can. We just squeeze him, and he makes ice cream all chocolatey, chocolatey. Clanky, Clanky is good to you and me. He can make anything chocolatey. Clanky is very clever.
That's right, gang. Clanky. And did I go back? I did. Anyway, Clanky. And the bottle, Clanky, you could use for a toy, like in the tub or action figure and whatnot. I tell you what, brilliant marketing. However, the reports I'm getting back was that the syrup itself was not very appetizing. Uh, Sandy says she can actually remember as a kid and being rather watery. Of course, we're kind of debating whether or not her grandmother was watering down the product or not. But yeah, some folks saying it wasn't very good. And so who knows? Well, you may never know. And we also don't dare to find any now because they are no longer around. Anyway, Clanky. But maybe start looking. I don't know if I want to dig in a dump for a Clanky bottle or just buy one off of eBay. But I do see Clanky being in our future. Anyway, that was Clanky. So anyway, let's get back to the article. Big Apple treasures. Now, believe it or not, the Big Apple, or New York City, when first viewed by the Europeans, was heavily forested and hilly. Seems to reason. The only tree that may have once existed those years ago may still be found in Central Park. The honey locust tree has large thorns and evolved spines to guard against the American mastodon that roamed this region. The Hudson River is actually a drowned river. In glacial times, the Hudson River flowed 120 miles further out of the Atlantic Ocean. The glacial melt overfilled the old Hudson River channel, which is one of the main reasons why the Hudson is so deep and large ships could easily navigate the lower end of the river. Over 170 different mineral varieties were once found south of the Narrows at the entrance of New York Harbor. The first explorers wrote back to Europe that the hills that arose here showed many indications of minerals. These declarations sparked an interest in Europe to further explore the area. According to a 1782 British map, Times Square was surrounded by hills and 3 streams. All the streams that used to flow from the Hudson River to Times Square are now buried, though remnants are still said to run under the pavement. By 1798, it was decided to cover over water running through the city. It was no longer fit to drink, and even animals had stopped coming here for water. 400 years ago, the area was a swamp with red maple trees. The original Manhattan Island was the Native American name for a 10-mile-long island located at the foot of Grand Central Street on the East River. The name means place of the whirlpool or dangerous stream of rushing water. In the East River once existed a whirlpool called Hellgate. It was reported that over 1,000 shipwrecks occurred here annually before it was destroyed in 1851. Now, here's a little bit of a speculation here. The author goes on to say, if true, that would be over 200 years of 1,000 shipwrecks per year, or over 200,000 shipwrecks at this one spot. The actual whirlpool site is located where 90th and 100th Streets are today. One wonders what may still lie below the streets from those numerous shipwrecks that occurred in the area. The Dutch settlement on the island was called New Amsterdam in 1625 and was located from Wall Street to South Street, which today would be from the Seaport to City Hall Park and Foley Square. Fort Amsterdam was located at the foot of Manhattan from the foot of Broadway facing the East and Hudson Rivers. The wall built by the Dutch on Wall Street was 9 feet tall and was used as a defense against the Native American tribes in the region. And let's talk about this real quick. Let's get over to our map. And we're going to share a screen. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Now, here's a map of Lower Manhattan. That's right, gang. And one thing I do want to kind of point out, hopefully, maybe, does my little mouse show up? I can't tell. Well, anyway, gang, in Captain Kidd's time, which we have done quite extensive work on, or shall we say, pirates in general of New York City. But anyway, Pearl Street, if you can see it there on the map, you see the little symbol there, if my mouse doesn't show up, of France's Tavern. That there is Pearl Street. Believe it or not, gang, that used to be waterfront. That's right. Back in the 1600s, that late 1600s, that used to be the waterfront when this was an early settlement. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more. There's Dunkin' Donuts just all over the place in here. But anyway, yeah, donuts. But anyway, gang. So just bear that in mind as we get through this article, because yes, some of it will become a little bit more relevant in a bit. Oh, don't look at that yet. Anyway, gang. On Vischer's Island, also known as Winthrop's Island, is where Adrian Block's ships were wrecked in 1614 after sailing through Hellgate on the East River. The Hudson River once flowed down Greenwich Street. In 1916, workers, excavation, a subway station found the keel and ribs of timbers of Block's ship Tangier on the corner of Greenwich and Day Streets. This ship was burned along the Hudson River in 1614. In 1660, Pearl Street was located on the East River waterfront. Numerous Dutch coins called jettons have been found here from that period. Amazing ancient finds are still being discovered in New York City, though that may seem to be hard to believe. And in fact, we'll talk more about this in a little bit. But yes, basically, they were using ships as fill. We have seen this all over the place. We've seen it in Philadelphia and San Francisco. Probably about a decade ago now, they discovered some ships in San Francisco as they were doing excavation along near the waterfront, not at the waterfront, but near the waterfront. And other great big ports are no different. Philadelphia and et cetera. And Baltimore would not surprise me either to have a lot of fill. That's right, trash or sunken ships to basically give you more waterfront. But anyway, it has become apparent that groups who came after just built over the remains of the last inhabitants, eventually allowing later people to discover them. No, they were making real estate. In 2010, at the World Trade Center site, an upright wooden vessel built in the mid to late 1700s was discovered by workers at the site. The wood timbers were encased in a gray muck flecked with oyster shells. It was about 30 feet. It was a 30-foot wood-hauled ship that was buried about 20 to 30 feet below street level at the World Trade Center site. This area was not dug out during the original Trade Center building's construction, so the vessel remained undisturbed for over 200 years. That's right, New York City. Can you believe it? History being just right underneath the pavement. This was the largest early ship discovery in New York City since 1982. That 18th century vessel was found at 175 Water Street. A 1797 map shows that the World Trade Center was close to Lindsay's Wharf and Lake's Wharf, that once located on the Hudson River. Native American artifacts have been discovered on the east bank of the Hudson River on Avenue A and 120th Street. Native American skeletons were found with arrowheads still embedded in them, proving that they died during a battle. Was this Native American burial site? The Native American tribe that traded with Peter Minuet to purchase the island in 1626 lived in a settlement that ran along Seaman Avenue. Case marks here. Okay. All right. Anyway, Seaman Avenue. The intersection of Broadway and Isham Street was a Native American village about 400 years ago. Pottery has been found in this area. in 1886 on Kingsbridge Road, known as Broadway today, and 200th Street. Arrowheads, wampum, which is Native American money, pendants, bowls, harpoons, cups, and pottery were found. In 2012, as workers were improving the waterfront in the Bronx, over 100 Native American artifacts dating to 200 AD was discovered. Ceramics, pottery, and stone tools were found in the southeastern section of Pelham Bay Park. This area is not far from the 1643 farm of Anne Hutchison and her family. It was the site where she and others were killed by the I had this down pat earlier. Siwanoi Native Americans after they set up a small colony to escape religious persecution. Speaking of which, I was watching I'll share it to the channel on the my little YouTube community, whatever messaging thing it's called. I'll share a video I'm watching about the Mayflower. Very well done, very well documented. And speaking of religious persecution, but anyway, that will be on there later. I'll throw that up there. But it's actually, I won't say it's entertaining. It's just informative. Anyway, the very first use of New York City was wait, go back. Anyway, so the article is trying to say that the very first use of New York City was a graveyard by the Native Americans. But anyway, the dead were buried and where they fell in September of 1609. In 2015, a 19th century burial vault was found on the east end of Washington Square Park. Okay. The area is surrounded by New York University buildings today, but between 1797 and 1825, it was a potter's field or public burying area. The workers who were upgrading a water main discovered a 200-year-old vault, 8 feet deep, 15 feet wide, and 20 feet long, containing 12 skeletons. Historians estimate that approximately 20,000 people were buried under the park, which is strange because the park that's if you're facing Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the park to the right, what's that? Washington Park was actually once a cemetery. It's also the home of the unknown soldier, another one, not the same one like is down in Arlington. But actually, people are surprised to know how many cemeteries there are actually in downtown Philadelphia. Quite a few. But anyway, and it's the same with New York City. There's actually quite a number of cemeteries located right on the island. Trinity Church being one. And but anyway, get back to the article and then we'll banter on. But anyway, though it is not exactly easy to search for early artifacts in New York City, it is obvious that just below the concrete and modern skyscrapers, the relics of earlier lifetimes spent in this city still remain. It is truly amazing what can exist just beneath your feet in New York. And I believe that on Pearl Street in New York City, there's a bank. I think it's a financial center of some sort. It actually has glass on the floor where you can see earlier excavations. And of course, New York City, as well as some of the other larger cities, Philadelphia, I know for sure, require anytime that there's new construction to have an archaeological dig, a survey done prior to disturbing the soil. So anyway, great stuff. And speaking of which, we're talking about treasure hunters and metal detectorists and that sort of thing. After these, I've known a couple of the fellows that would actually follow the construction going on in Philadelphia. What they would do is, after they would find that, hey, there's plans for a building, after the archaeological survey was done, after the load of dirt and etc. that gets dug out, they would actually try to get permission to go through the tailings and everything that came out of that site back at the construction area or wherever that soil is being dumped. And I know a couple of the fellows had actually permission to go onto site, which sometimes the people didn't like. But every now and again, they get lucky and go, yeah, go ahead, but be out of here, before we start work or whatever. But I saw a couple of the fellows. Oh, my goodness. The I-95 expansion, that's going on probably about 20 years or better. But when that was being redone in Philadelphia, I know some of the guys were going in there, and after they did the survey, which that survey lasted quite a long time. I think some of the artifacts are still on display. And they were going in there and, checking out stuff. Are we talking about food? Oh, my goodness. And thank goodness, I tell you, when do we start our diets again? I don't know. And anyway, gang, that's it. History right beneath your feet. And great, great stuff. And listening and cooking pork chops. Oh, my, I tell you what. But anyway, gang. Well, we are still. What diet? Yeah, I tell you. I guess no diet until at least January. February. Got leftovers. But anyway, gang, we are going to cut this a little short. We're still trying to get rid of some of this stuff, but we are feeling better. Oh, thank goodness. And I think we're safe to say now that we are on the mend. But anyway, gang. But yeah, we are going to cut this a little short. I feel myself clouding up a little bit, and I'm not going to push it because I want to be here next week. That's right, Sunday. And I actually still have a video that is just kind of sitting in the wings. I got to finish editing. We'll get there. But anyway, gang, I tell you what, thanks for tuning in. And time is short. Be happy. It's a choice. We're choices. And hey, if you have time to take a look at our eBay store, who knows what may pop up in there. And that's down in the links in the information box. But anyway, gang, until then, have a great week and stay warm, stay dry. And who knows? I tell you what, be careful of those elves. That's right, gang. I'm saying that for the grandkids. Watch out for those elves. They are watching. Anyway, gang, until then, have a great night, and we'll see you on the tube.